For today's video, I wanted to go over some mods to your framed kayak seat for extra comfort. These mods are cheap, quick, and easy to do. Best of all, they made an immediate and noticeable impact while on the water. Before we get started, if you guys find this video helpful, let me know by hitting that like button. If you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing. We're actively trying to grow this channel, and your subscription directly helps us with that. Alright, now on to the mods. The seat I'll be working with today is from a Crescent Kayak. While overall it's a pretty comfortable chair, myself being in the over 6-foot range can cause some issues when it comes to resting your legs when fishing. As you can see here, the straps that connect and adjust the back of the seat to the bottom frame are attached with bolts and washers. This is a good design, except the bolts being longer than the frame cause the remainder of the bolt to stick inside the frame. If you rest your legs to either side of the seat frame, that bolt can dig in, making it very uncomfortable after a long day of fishing. Additionally, the same can be said for the top bolts holding the straps to the top of the frame. These are less intrusive, but if you're pushing back into the seat, like when you're paddling, the bolts can actually make contact with your back, and that's not very comfortable either. Thankfully, the fix for these is rather simple, which brings us to our first mod. We're going to remove the bolts, flip the bolts around, flip the washers around, and then install them back to the seat frame. This will have the bolt pointing outward instead of inward, and when resting your legs, you'll either clear the bolt completely or rest on the rounded bolt head, which is a lot smoother. To get started, you'll only need a few simple hand tools. I use my screw gun, but it's 100% not necessary, and a regular screwdriver would work just as well, if not better. Additionally, you'll need some way to hold the nut in place while turning the bolt. I used a pair of pliers, but a small socket or wrench can accomplish this as well. Once you have your tools, it's the same quick process for all 4 bolts. Since I've already swapped this bottom bolt here, I'm going to take it out and move the small washer from the outside to the inside and the large washer from the inside to the outside. Now that that's complete, I'm going to move to the top of the frame and do the same thing to these bolts from start to finish. First, I'm removing the bolt from its original position. Next, I am turning the bolt around and moving the larger washer to the outside and the smaller washer to the inside. Don't forget to swap these washers, as the larger washer is there to keep the strap in place. If you forget and leave the smaller washer on the outside, you actually have a chance of pulling the strap off the bolt. I can say from personal experience that's not a fun thing to happen mid-paddle. To get to the bolts on the top, you can do this by removing the back straps or just threading your screwdriver through. The bolt comes out, the washers get swapped around, the bolt goes back in the opposite way, and we tighten to snug. There we go. The bolt ends are now facing outward and should no longer cause discomfort. For this next comfort mod, I took a chance on a cheap product, and I was really excited to see how well it not only worked, but fit in the seat frame. The only thing you'll need is a simple stadium seat pad. If you haven't heard of these before, they're small foam pads that people bring to sporting events to put down on the hard plastic seats to be a little bit more comfortable. I used this one from Thermoseat, and it fit perfect. It's very soft, waterproof, it even floats, and I can see it holding up really well over time. I'll include a link in the description if you wanted to grab one for yourself. They were under $10, so pretty inexpensive. Now, with a seat pad like this, you could simply just lay it on the top and sit on it. But it turns out this seat fits perfectly with the under seat straps on the framed kayak seat. You want to insert the seat pad with the bulk of the padding towards the back of the seat. This is where the most pressure is going to be when sitting properly in a kayak seat, so you don't want it too forward, losing out on the cushioning. Once in position, you simply tighten down the straps, and it essentially locks the pad in place. Now when you sit down, instead of the resistance being on the straps, you actually have a whole extra layer of cushioning on the bottom. And honestly, for the price, I feel like it's a great mod. So there you have it. Those are the 2 quick, easy, and cheap mods you can do to your framed kayak seat for some extra comfort. If you guys found this helpful, please make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons so I see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.